My client was paying me $1,000 a month and I was able to generate him $100,000 in revenue. It's safe to say his cheap ass was pretty damn happy. And I'm going to be showing you how I did this step by step. And the way I did do this was through collection pages, which were actually very simple and very straightforward, but highly effective. And I'll be showing you exactly how I built these pages. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this. So I want you to picture yourself in the mall and you're with two of your mates. One of them is a complete idiot, Derek, and the other one, Usyk. Well, he's actually clever. And you made Derek here, you have to spell everything out to him. Let's just say you're walking and the only way he knows something is a laptop repair store if it says on the title, on the sign, laptop repair store. Whereas your friend Usyk here, he has a bit more common sense and he can just look at the window, see the laptop, see the components, and he can see, oh wait, it's probably a computer repair store. And unfortunately, Google is your dumb friend Derek here. And that's going to be the theme throughout this video, is we're going to be breaking down everything because we need to feed Google data very, very easily. So the first thing I did was I crafted SEO and click-worthy meta titles for every collection page. So that's very important. So you don't just want to go for the SEO, you want to go for both SEO and the clicks. And I'll show you how to get those clicks. So what is the key here to getting those clicks? It's creating a meta title that actually speaks to your ICP, your ideal customer profile. And the way you do that is create an excruciatingly detailed ICP. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be rolling your eyes right now and be like, oh yeah, I already know what they want. No, you don't. If you don't have a detailed ICP, you don't know what they want. You'd be quite shocked at what they really want. So I want you to create something like this. Now you can pause it and give it a read. I've just gone over an example here of a guy named Steve, and he's looking for fitness recovery equipment. And here are the questions we asked in order to create a bulletproof ICP. Again, you can just pause this, give it a read, take a screenshot, go over things like demographics, the psychographics, the buyer behavior. But what if you just want to get straight into things and you can maybe later come down to creating the detailed ICP doc? Well, there is a shortcut for this. And what you're going to do is list the pain points in order of importance. List the pain points and desires, right? So you'll have one column for your pain points and one column for your desires. And you want to list them out and you really want to exhaust them. Because if you're thinking yourself, oh, everyone says do SEO, but I'm not sure what that means specifically to me, well, start with this. It's very important. Don't skip it. I know most of you are going to skip this. But for the people who don't, you're on the right track. So improving your CTR. So we're going to be using the ICP document to create a meta title. So what you're going to do is very basic stuff. So choose a keyword that feels relatable to them. Next, highlight what matters most and then focus on specific pain points and or desires. Now this can be very hard to get into 60 characters because that's how long a meta title is. But if your audience cares about saving money, you might want to emphasize the discounts or deals in your meta title, or if to focus on quality terms. On quality, then terms like premium or top rated will catch their eye. So some of them, they're more worried about the premium feel of a product and how good it actually is versus the price. And you can actually test it too. And I'll give you an example. So in this example, sticking with the fitness recovery example, let's just say you're going for the keyword ice baths for athletes. So what you want to do is front load that keyword. So you want your target keyword, your main keyword at the front of the meta title, and then what does your ICP desire the most? So in this case, fast recovery and muscle relief. That's what speaks to them. Massage guns. Why do you want a massage gun? Why would I want it? Well, they've got stiffness, they've got soreness, and they want to recover. So massage guns dash reduce stiffness, soreness, and boost recovery. Now, this one you'd want to test. So home saunas, compact, affordable, and 24-month warranty. We're catering more to people who are worried about money as well as the space, versus home saunas dash recover, stress relief, and low maintenance. They're more worried about the actual, is it going to do the job, and they basically want a more premium product essentially. So you want to test those two, and these are the things that are going to get you the clicks, because most companies, and I've even seen this when working on a 9-figure company, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, doing their SEO, and they don't even do this, they don't even cater to the ICP. They're just stuffing the keywords and call it a day, right? They've optimized it, they've checked off the list, and that's what management sees. They send it to the management. They don't know what they're doing either, and they call it a day. And you can really separate yourself. And if you're thinking, how do I compete with the big boys, with the big guys? They've got the bigger budgets. Well, doing something like this is going to help you out a lot. Now, the next thing is you want to have a H tag that matches the meta title, because you've got to remember your friend Derek here. Let's face it, he's a bit of a retard.
You just fucking me with no Vaseline.
So you've got to be congruent with him. When he goes into that shop, or that laptop repair shop, and he starts seeing video games, he's going to think, what's this? I'm a bit confused. Well, again, he's a bit of a moron. So you want the meta title and H1 tag to be the same, right? So your meta title is this part right here. So if we type in something like green shoes, I don't know why, but that's just what popped in my mind. But green shoes, this blue tile here is the meta title. So if we click on this, and if we actually look at the H1 is a HTML element. As you can see here, this is a H1 tag. So as you can see here, this is the H1 tag, and you want them ideally to be the same, because this says green shoes, and then this says timeless leather shoes handcrafted in our Dartmoor workshop. And this is bad because if it's quite different, the H1 tag and meta title, Google can change the meta title, because again, it can confuse them to think, no, this would be a more suitable title. So the meta title and H1 don't have to be exactly the same. They don't have to be exact match, as long as the primary keyword is in the H1 tag. But I'll try to make it as close as possible. So for example, if we take the keyword bird food here, so if you look at the meta title, bird food pipe UK's cheapest, and then in the H1 tag they put bird food, well, that's fine because they've mentioned it in the meta title as well. Now it's time to organize your collection pages. So despite all of Google's computing power and sophisticated algorithm, you'll have to create a library for them to understand, because again, your friend Derek, he's a bit of a retard, right? And you're going to have to spell everything out for this guy. So you want to organize your collection pages by using the silo structure. So if you don't organize your collection pages, essentially this is what it's going to look like to the bot. It's just going to look like a big mess, versus actually having an organized library. They're going to appreciate it and rank you higher as a result. So this is what your silo structure is going to look like for your collection pages. So you'll have your parent collection page, and then you have your child collection pages, and these child collection pages are going to link up to your parent collection page, and then your individual products are going to link to their child collection page. So for example, let's say your parent collection is non-alcoholic wines, and then your child categories are things like white non-alcoholic wines, non-alcoholic rosé wines, non-alcoholic red wines, and those will link up to the broad non-alcoholic wine page, right? Such quite simple. And when you get external links to your pages, well, guess what? Thanks to the internal link, the power of those links will spread throughout these pages. So you're using that link juice as efficiently as possible. Now, if you're enjoying this video, then let me know in the comments and I'll create more. Also, breadcrumbs and menu links don't count. It needs to be in the actual content. So breadcrumbs are these types of links at the top. You've probably already seen them. You might already have them. But yeah, they basically tell Google where to go, and these don't count. You want them to be in the actual content, and I'll give you an example in just a second. So next up, you want to beef up the content, because again, your mate Derek here, he's a retard, and when you beef up the content, well, it's going to give this guy a bit more context on what your page is actually about. So get the pages framework right. This is what it's going to look like. So this is a good example. So this page, they've got the H1 tag at the top here. And let me just highlight that. So they've got a H1 tag, they've got the intro copy, and this is where you're going to leave your internal links for that silo. And then they've got their products, and then at the bottom here, they've really gone ahead and beefed up their collection pages by adding content and even some internal links talking about bird food, right? And that's what it's going to look like. Make sure you've got your title, your intro paragraph, your products, and at the bottom there, you're going to expand on your description there. And you're going to create enticing copy that speaks to your ideal customer profile. So again, you want to fill that out and actually speak to their pain points and actually get in their shoes and show them that you know what you're talking about and you can actually fix the problem that they're having. Because of your thinking, man, I'm stuck on page 3, page 4, and even at the bottom of page 1, and I don't know how to push further. I'm seeing all these bigger sites. Well, guess what? If you just beef up the copy, I can almost guarantee you will rank higher. and actually speaking to your ICP, putting in that unique content. And this way you're actually separating yourself from the rest of the competitors, because everyone's doing the same thing. They're basically typing the keyword in, look at the top results, basically regurgitate that crap on their page, where actually you need to actually create your ICP, get in their shoes and create some unique content. Now, keyword density does not matter, and I mention it specifically here because I did an audit of a site. Now, bear in mind, these guys are an 8-figure company. They're not a small company. They hired an agency. When I looked at their page, guess what? They've done keyword stuffing. This is an old school tactic, and if you don't know what this means, they basically took their target keyword and they just plunged it all throughout the page and basically just stuffed the hell out of it and over optimized it. It looks unnatural, and guess what? As a result, their rankings just took a massive dip. And the way I want you to think about keyword density is, you're this little girl right here, this cute little girl, and keyword density, well, it's this guy here. And you don't want to get anywhere near keyword density, otherwise, let's face it, you're probably going to get pissed on, right? So stay well away from keyword density. However, here's where keyword density does actually matter. If your keyword is only mentioned once. So for example, if we take our previous example, birdseed mixes, they've mentioned it all throughout the page, top, middle, and bottom. Now, you don't have to go that far. All you need to do is basically put it in the title, put it in your intro paragraph, put it in the middle of the page and the bottom of the page. That's it. You don't need to go any further or any less. And that way, by mentioning it top, middle, and bottom, you're actually still under-optimized. Because remember, it's better for you to be under-optimized than over-optimized. Next up, we optimize every product title. Now, what most people do is to have their brand name plus product model. And that's a complete waste of space, essentially. You want to throw some keywords in there, and you want to follow this framework instead. So product features / attributes plus brand name. So here are some attributes. So let's say the size of the item, the technical specification like the voltage or the RAM or the resolution, the style, the ingredients. So you might sell soy-free, milk. Occasion, so it could be Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, holidays, so you could be selling Christmas style things. And these are just some ideas that you can get derived keywords from, essentially. So let's just take this as an example here. This helmet here, Gringo SECE R2022 helmet dash black. Well, we can do a much better job than that. Instead, Gringo SECE R2022 full face helmet dash gloss white and black. I just put helmet and it gave me a suggestion, full face. So as you can see here, people do search for full face helmets, and people also search by color as well, right? And style. So gloss is a type of style. So we've added multiple keywords in here, and when you apply this across your site, well, guess what? You're going to rank for a lot more keywords, because Google's going to be crawling those pages and see, oh wait, you've got lots of different keywords. Well, guess what? You're clearly related to those because they're in important pages, because you want them in your H1 as well as your meta title. Next up, LSI keywords. LSI is just a fancy way of saying semantically related keywords, right? So it just stands for latent semantic indexing. It sounds fancy, but it's actually very simple. So for example, let's just say your target keyword is Apple. Well, how do we know? How does the search engine know which Apple? Or are you referring to this Apple? Or are you referring to this Apple? Well, that's where context comes in. So on your page, if you're trying to rank for this kind of apple, you'd want calories in there, juicy, fruit, vitamin C, pie, nutritious. Whereas this apple, you'd want to mention keywords like apps or MacBook or Siri, Steve Jobs, technology, iPhone, etc. So that's what LSI keywords are there for. They're there for to give context to the search engine, because again, your friend Derek here is a complete retard. You need to spell everything out for him, and the more context you give them, i.e. keywords, the higher that you're going to rank, because the better they understand your page. I hope you're getting this, and I hope you're finding the importance of this. Also, if you're interested in learning more about SEO, you're more serious, I do one-on-one consultations. They're 1 hour long. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the comments below. So where do you actually find these LSI keywords? Well, it's actually very simple. So start with something basic like a thesaurus. So let's just go with our example previously, bird food, and typed in bird food, where it comes up with bread, cooking, cuisine, drink. Well, no one's interested in that. That doesn't really make sense for a bird food page. Or things like meal, snack do make sense. So bite, that you could work that in there. And it's a very basic thing, but no one else is doing this. I highly doubt your competitors are doing this. Now, next up, you can look for bolded search terms. So if you type in your keyword into Google, so let's just go helmet full face. So you'll see different bolded things in the meta description, as well as if we scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see the people also ask, etc. Now you can use this tool here, easy SEO extension. You can just go to Semantic Sniper, type in your keyword, and it'll actually pull out these bolded terms for you. Now another thing you can do is, what we did was we went to our Google Ads, because I was also mentioning the Google Ads, seeing what keywords we were showing up for, and basically adding any relevant ones to the pages. And you can just go to Google Search Console, click on pages, filter by clicks as well as impressions, insert any relevant keywords to the page. Another thing you can do is simply look at the meta titles. Are they mentioning anything in there that you haven't got any that would make sense to add to your page? So for example, maybe it would make sense to add motorcycle to your page, right? Probably would. And that right there is how I skyrocketed this business's revenue through some very basic collection page SEO.
Have you ever taken those pills, the laxative pills? You know, the ones you take, you pop, and you wait for 20 minutes, you go to the toilet, and they go through you? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go through this man.
It's a bit of a weird analogy.
Everybody knew exactly what I was talking about.